Well, shifting the gears of our conversation, on your last book, which is the How to Coach for Creativity and Service Excellence, right?
Yep.
That's the correct name, right?
Thank you.
You talk about a lot about using creativity to boost lean initiatives. But at first sight, lean seems to be a very methodical and standardized oriented methodology and philosophy, right? So they don't seem to relate very well, lean with creativity. But in your books, you say that they work very fine together. So how do you see this relationship between lean and creativity? How can one help each other?
Okay, so here's the thing. I think that PDCA not only is the scientific method, but for me, it's the creative process. And I actually have a master's degree in sculpture, so I come to the lean and business world through the world of art. And I think the two work really, really well together. And here's why. And I actually think it's the basis of Toyota way of thinking and working. So if our idea is that we're going to create better ways, more effective and efficient ways for us to work to satisfy customers, in order for us to actually create that better way, the first thing we need to do is have an idea for a better way to work. And having ideas, more ideas, better ideas, unusual ideas, that actually falls into the realm of creativity. Once we have a new idea of how to work, then actually we have to turn that idea into a reality, because if we don't turn it into a reality, a good idea stuck in our heads is not going to help our customers, and it's not going to help the people who do the work. Now, oftentimes we send people in companies for lean trainings. We teach them all kinds of things, 5S, standard work. We teach them leveling, all of those kind of things, how to create supermarkets and how to create pull and then flow. How many organizations send their people to any kind of teaching or training about creativity? How to have more ideas, how to have better ideas. I'm going to say very few. When I ask this question, nobody ever raises their hand. But how can we actually expect the people who do our work to be able to create better ways to work if we don't help them rediscover their innate creativity so that they can have those new ideas to turn into those ideas? So that's how I think the two of them go together. And I think that actually Toyota Way is always based on creativity, and that we've just taken the tools and the principles, but we forget that other part.
And how do you actually foster creativity in a person? Because that's something very intangible, let's say, right? I guess everybody has its own process. And how do you, as a coach and as a consultant, develop that within your coachees?
That is a great question. And first of all, I'm going to say that I believe that everybody is innately creative. So it's not something that we actually need to learn as a new skill. It's something we need to rediscover and reclaim inside of ourselves. Think about as children and those people who have children. Children are always thinking of interesting new ways to do things, some of which the manager doesn't approve of, right? Yeah. But what happens as we get older? As we get older, we start putting the box around ourselves. We start saying, oh, well, yes, we can do that, or no, we can't do that. So as adults, just like anything that we want to get better at, we actually have to spend time to deliberately practice our creativity so that we can reclaim it, so that we can rediscover it, so we can strengthen it, just like any other neural pathway we have. So how many people spend time actually practicing creativity every day? Drawing, maybe figuring out complicated puzzles in new ways, dancing, singing, any of those things that we feel are creative, practicing asking questions, practicing putting things together in different ways. Not very many of us. So if we want to reclaim our creativity, the best thing to do is practice every single day. I spend time to practice creativity. Sometimes I'm drawing and people saying to me, oh, are you making art? And I say, actually, really, what I'm doing is practicing seeing and practicing my creativity. Deliberate practice. And then, of course, if you have a coach to help you, even better.
I see. So a problem solver is just like an artist, right? And you have to practice
That
every
is
day.
absolutely true. I love that. A problem solver is an artist because actually, the only thing artists do is solve problems. If I want to make a 500-pound piece of concrete and steel sculpture stand together, I have to figure out how to solve those problems. So people always ask me, was it a waste of time to study art now that you work in business? And I say, no, it wasn't a waste of time. It's the best thing I ever did because it taught me how to use my creativity to solve problems and create new ways to do things. And now I can teach other people.